So you see it all the time when you're looking on Zillow or the MLS, Realtor.com, to be built. What does that exactly mean? Let's find out. Hey, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here, your great agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate here to the Treasure Valley. And why not? It's just beautiful here. Hey, so when you're looking on, these different places online, you'll see the status of a home, whether it's, sometimes you'll see sold, new, active, but sometimes you'll see to be built. Well, what does that mean? Well, I want to kind of go over that with you. We had somebody ask about that, and we're full customer service, so we're going to give you an answer. So here we are at this lot right here, and this too is a to be built. And what's interesting about this is that there's no price. See, there's no price. And why is that? That's a new thing that they're doing. So it's to be built, so the builder has no idea what it's going to cost. So I guess that kind of makes sense, right? So about this particular one, this is kind of more of a higher scale to be built. Sometimes we'll see them in regular production communities, but this is more of a higher end custom place. And how that makes this one different is that, in all cases, the builder owns the lot. And so if you have the house built, it's going to be by that builder. In this case, it's Aspen Wood, and they own the lot, and they built most of the houses around here, and they will build this one here. They have a proposed lot, a proposed model that they got an actual lot. It's this one right here. But they have a proposed model, but in this case, they will build your home according to your plans. Or maybe you can start with one of their house plans and then customize it out to make it completely yours. Another thing that I wanted to mention too is that you'll see the taxes listed online. And in this case, it's a very, very low number because, well, it's still dirt. And so when it does come to building your house with a to be built, sometimes it's going to be like this one where you'll have total say in what the house is going to look like, the different materials used with it. But sometimes you're going to go with a production builder, and we'll go take a look at a couple of those. And sometimes those you will have a say in what the colors are and maybe some slight structural changes, like maybe moving a wall or something like that. And then other times it just is what it is. And that could be sometimes based upon the builders, what they have going on right at the moment. Sometimes it has to do with the lot size. Maybe it's a small lot and only a certain model house that they have in their repertoire will fit on it. So, and it also comes down to how long do you have to build. Some to be builts, like with the production builders, because they do it all the time, they have their systems, they can give you a pretty darn good idea of how long it's going to take, whether it's 6 months or like Toll Brothers might be closer to a year and a half. And something like this where it's a total custom, it kind of depends on the things that you want to put into the house. As it's like maybe there's some materials that have to marble quarried in Italy or something, I don't know. And then also there's the permit process, and I understand that that's going where it used to be a few weeks, now it's more like a few months. So let's go take a look at another one. And so now we find ourselves over here at a Toll Brothers neighborhood, and yep, they have to be built as well. So what do we have that's different over here is that, so again, the price that you see, so this one is listed at $378,995, but the price does not reflect any other options that you might include, which could be, whatever you want for your kitchen cabinets or your countertops or different things like that. Plus also they have the option for having some structural changes, again, like moving a wall or putting in an extra door or something like that. So most of these to be built, especially with the production builders, you're going to pay for everything just like in a normal transaction at the closing. So you come in and you pay your earnest money, which depends on what lender you have or what deals they have and things like that. But then if you do go to the design center and then you're upgrading different things, there may also be a deposit there. Now you have complete control over that because of you get to decide on what things you want. If you want something more than what the builder has included, then there's obviously it's going to cost more. And if it hits a certain threshold, you may have to pay like 50% of whatever that item is. But if you do end up going with one of those more of a total custom job thing, instead of just paying at the end of the transaction, there may be a requirement that you have to, the contractor has particular draws throughout the process when they hit different particular specific points in the process. So just know that with the production builders, it's usually just right at the end is when you have to pay anything. So a couple of things about this place and most of the to-be-builts is you're going to see a really large days on market, the DOM number. And that doesn't mean that nobody wants it or anything like that. If we had a regular existing house that had 88 days on the market, you'd be going, oh my gosh, what's wrong with that? But with a to-be-built, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just a piece of land that they put out here to kind of see if anybody wants to buy that to put a house that they want customized to some degree or another. And again, the taxes, so this one, the last recorded taxes that they're telling us about was $0. So we know that your property taxes are probably going to be a little bit more than, I don't know, a zero. But they're going to wait till they get the house built, the county will, before they start taxing you. That only seems fair. So one thing that you do get when you have more of these production builder lots, like the one that we have behind us, is that the lots might only be a certain size and only a certain model house will fit on that. So that's typically when a new phase opens up, that the really choice lots, the ones that are bigger to handle bigger houses, usually go first. And then they have the smaller lots that come later. This one is 0.16, so it's not a big one, but it's big enough for the normal size homes. They have the Collins listed as one that would fit over here. So yeah, but you know what? There's one more that I want to take a look at. So come on. So here we are at yet another place where they have a to-be-built, and this is a Hayden Community. It's a very nice place, and so again, it's kind of the same thing. The price is $349,990, and but that's subject to if you add anything and any changes. But in this case, with this builder, it doesn't look like there's any changes that you can really make to the house. Maybe there's going to be a chance to pick your own color or something, but there's no indication in the listing that you can do any of those changes. So this might be just one of those, what you see is what you get. Now, why would you go with the to-be-built if you can't make any personal modifications to it? Well, that could well be because of the timing. Let's say that you need to be where you are for another 8 months or so, and it's 8-month build time for this. So the timing might work out great. You get to lock in a house at this earlier in the year when it's still kind of wintry and cold out, the lower price as opposed to the higher price when, say, August gets here. So that might be a really good reason. A couple of things I wanted to mention too is when you're working with an agent on a to-be-built, there's a couple of things you need to know about. Not so much, for the agent, because agents should know this already, but just so you know, so when you do something, maybe even inadvertently, that you're making the decision that you really wanted to make. One of those things is that some builders have very stringent or high hoops that you have to go through, or maybe they're pits that you can fall into when it comes to working with them and working with an agent. Case in point, there's some builders that it's like, well, like right here it's saying they have a 2-step process you and the agent have to do before the builder will recognize the agent as working for you. And if you make any tiny little mistake, and that could be as simple as you going onto their website, and maybe it's like 2 years out, and you just want to know what's the square footage on that one particular model. So you type it on there, and then their little chat bot says, what's your email? I'll send you something. You put your email in, boom, you've automatically cut out any help from an agent representing you. So that means the only representation you're going to have is the builder's agent. Now, how fair does that sound? And who do you think they'll be looking out for? So if you have a question about a new build, talk with the agent that you want to work with first and let them make those phone calls. You're not bothering them. You're not bothering me. That's what we get paid to do, is find out that information. Plus, we have experience that we might be able to put it in context. Also, we have experience with different reps that work for some of these builders, and some of them are just as chill as can be, and some aren't. You know, we'll get that information and maybe even some inside information. Another thing you want to be aware of is that the commission that some of the builders offer your agent. Sometimes it's 3.5%. Usually it's 3. Sometimes it's 2.5. Sometimes it's less than that. And the reason why this is important for you is, let's say that you've been working with an agent and you signed a representation agreement. You may have seen that on there it says that you'll pay 3% to your agent, which is all fine and dandy. That's the normal amount that we usually see. But if that builder comes back and says, we're only going to pay 2%, you might be on the hook for that other 1%. So, I mean, the agent's busting their hump for you. Well, if they're not, you probably need a new agent, right? But they deserve to get paid, because the good ones, they certainly deserve, you know, all the money that they're going to make, because they really do a lot of work for you. So you just kind of keep that in mind. So that's kind of what the skinny is on to be built. If you have any questions about any other topics, hey, please let me know. I'd be glad to answer those and do a video just for you. Anyway, speaking of videos, we will see you on the next one. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for stopping in and learning more about real estate in Nampa, Idaho and the Treasure Valley. If you'd like to learn more, watch this video here next or binge on this playlist. When it comes time to sell a home, buy a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley, your Treasure Valley Dave team is your real estate expert by your side, helping you get home.